boat with the intention of doing a 3-month refit. What we didn't know was it would take us 3 years full time. Our energy, dream and our money was swept away by the boatyard devil, slaving to finish the project.
Also starts to disappear.
You think something disappears?
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be an orange boat, that's for sure. So we just have to remove this paint first. When most of the hull surface was sanded, it was time to start making an extension of the hull, making it easier to step on and off the boat. This is called a sugar scope. After a couple of months in Mexico, we got to experience a huge earthquake that created a tsunami. The marina got hit and lots of damage was done. We found lots of parts needed replacement or repair, and it was all hard work, dusty, itchy and warm. After a while we started showing symptoms of scope creep. If we replace this, we should also do that other thing as well, and stepping up our goals all the time.
We don't like air bubbles.
Nope. So I remove them. Yeah, I mean air bubbles weakens the whole thing if we don't get them. The last hole is always the last hole.
Yeah.
If we thought we had found it all, it always came back proving us wrong. By extending the hull or adding the sugar scope made the boat look more modern, but most important, making it much more practical stepping on and off the boat. Another practical issue on the boat was to get from the cockpit up to the deck. So we designed what we call a catwalk, and it came out super, and I would have a hard time to see the boat without this. If the work on the boat wasn't tough enough, the rain did not make it easier for us. It was stressful because sometimes it was hard to cover to 100% or at least being convinced it was done to 100%. We could wake up in the middle of the night, grab a taxi to the marina just to make sure it was good enough.
I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting on you for so long, and it's killing me to see you there with a broken heart. If you knew, I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting on you coming like a wrecking ball, crying on me, saying how they make you feel so small.
The diesel engine came out pretty early, and it was supposed to be replaced by an electric motor. But hey, who would have known that all our money was going to be eaten up by other projects? When all replacements and repair had been done, and the surface was faired, it was time for the big transformation. Our trimaran hot sauce would get a brand new suit, looking like new. Now when the exterior was all done, well, by 90%, it was time to continue on the interior. And back outside again to get the mast looking brand new. And oh my gosh, that was so much more time consuming than you would think. The boat looked very good when it got painted, but it was missing something. So the transformation continued, and man, she came out so good looking. It's very hard to explain how much work that was put into this boat. So many different steps we went through. 95% you won't even notice in this video. We got an awesome floor after Karen had been priming and sanding and me painted it. But man, it was a big project. If the work wasn't enough, just sourcing material was a big mission. For instance, the epoxy for this water tank. When you were 100% sure, there was always a new issue showing up. The lamination in the dagger board.
I thought we had had enough with bad findings.
With a rudder with damp core repaired and fared to perfection, it did not get better when I dropped it in the ground and it cracked. Another transformation we started was to get the deck looking super, and with good non-skid surface. With such a huge deck, it takes lots of time and you need to have the weather gods on your side. But it came out stunning. Karen became a master of rotary, working on installations of fittings into the floorboards. And of course, we had a job that became so much bigger and time-consuming than any of us would have thought. Trims for the interior, all new and custom-made.
Each of them. You're also working with wood trims.
Of course I do.
Wood trims is our life now.
If there was one thing that would make the boat feel almost done, it was when we got to install the trampolines. Such a nice feeling being able to run around and bounce there. But in my hands, they were sore after a couple of hundred knots and tensioning. The boat really started to feel done, especially with the mast depth, most deck hardware installed and the engine in place. And of course, with the interior getting closer.
all the things. Look here, my nice sliding door. I think this one doesn't perfect. Oh, very good. Looks pretty alright.
But man, all those small things you maybe don't even think about, those adds up. We ran out of money and COVID virus had started to spread, so it was best to head back to Sweden anyhow.
I'm going back to Sweden.
Back to Sweden.
Time to go home, get some more money.
Oh, that doesn't sound fun at all.
I think that's a bit more relaxing than here, hopefully. So you can say I'm going on a vacation.
We hope to be back on the boat this winter 2020.